Kia ora, good morning. I swear to God, I need a GoPro on my head. I've been saying it for years. Because if I had a GoPro on my head and I knew you were all watching, I'd upload everything and I would speak out loud like I was talking to you or watching on the end of the camera. Just to prove how freaky awesome cool my life is and my gift and what I get to do. Because it needs to be seen to be believed. Because even though I'm going to tell you this, but if I had a GoPro on my head and I knew you were all watching, I'd know I'd be talking to you, and then I'd be saying my thoughts out loud for you to listen. And then because you'd be watching my investigation process, you'd be able to see I've not made any of what you're about to hear up. You'd be able to witness it. So yeah, I often think like I wouldn't mind to do like a TV show, like my TV show, where I just do little snippets of when I do these investigations. Like now, I'd put as soon as I pick up on when I'm watching these things and I get like what I call a ping or a hit, and I hone in, I'd turn the GoPro on and I'd start talking you through my thought process and how I'm doing it. So then you could see step by step I'm not making any of it up. Because it needs to be seen to be believed. Now this is just a preliminary. I'm just scratching over the surface of this. I've not dug too deep. But in the missing persons video that I was watching, the name Brian Shaffer came up. A guy who went to a bar called the Ugly Tuna and never came out. Now, I had briefly, his case was slightly familiar to me, but it was never anything I paid attention to till now when I got the ping, when I got the hit. So I started paying attention to the video and what he was saying, and watched a couple of other videos, and I found this guy, the detective perspective. This guy's good. While he was talking, I started putting together the codes of what I was seeing. And this, oh man, I wish you could have seen it. But anyway, what I was picking up on, and it was because it was in the back of my head anyway, but then this detective perspective said something that caught my attention. And I thought, oh, that's it. Because what I was seeing when I got the ping was that he'd taken some sort of drug that affected him in a way that I think like stopped his breathing or something like that, and they panicked and hid his body somewhere. And I was thinking, like, did it happen in the bar? But it didn't feel right, because like even though I knew I could see what I was seeing, like up against the back wall thing, and he collapsed. He had some kind of reaction to a drug that he had taken. And what I was thinking was, if I was the detective, the first thing I'd want to know was he doing drugs that night? Did he do drugs? Was he known for doing drugs? Were they doing drugs? Was his friend drug tested or anything like that? Because I saw him with a couple of other people. There was definitely a couple of females and at least another male. So it could have been his friends he was with. and they were right at the back, away from the bar and the music and the noise and that, which apparently it was a one-room bar with bathrooms, and there were only two other exits. One was like a service entrance, and the other one was it like a service elevator and like went out to the back to the construction site or something. Because what I was seeing was like he was standing in front of like a dark wall, but it was away from the noise. And he collapsed, and these people panicked. And so they hit his body. Now, the interesting thing is that detective perspective, what an incredible guy he is. I've started following him. He literally just dropped on my lap. Because, like, yeah, I think this man can teach me some things about, like, help me fine tune my investigation skills. Because what he said was, he was caught on camera standing outside talking to two women and who was believed to be his friend. And then he says it looks like someone gestures him back into the bar, and he goes back into the bar. He said, but I just want to put it out there, I'm paraphrasing, maybe he didn't go back into the bar. Maybe he went out the fire escape bit. And that's what caught my attention, because I thought that's where he went to do the drugs. And I think what happened was, when you see, the detective said it, like someone gestured him, and when you watch the video, he does do a double take. He kind of looks over his shoulder, and then he looks over his shoulder again and turns. And I think the detective is onto it. I think he didn't go back into the bar. I think he went back out to the fire escape to do drugs. Now, I put his name in the search engine, and I put Brian Shaffer drugs, and the first thing that popped up was a discussion from someone in Reddit, and I'll put the link in the description box below. Apparently, he was trying to buy drugs before he went out, because he was anticipating possibly having a party that night back at his place, possibly. But apparently he did go looking for drugs that night, and then the rumour shifted that maybe he'd been given like the date rape drug, or GBH or something. And I thought, I knew it, because he had drugs in his system. He took something that he took it himself. He knew what he was doing, and it interacted with the alcohol or something else he'd taken that night, and it stopped his breathing. And I think maybe he choked on vomit or something. Because I can see in his mouth, like vomit or foam, like in his mouth, and not being able to breathe, and they panicked. They didn't know what to do. They panicked. And then apparently, because his friend refused to answer any questions to the cops or anything like that. So I think that's what happened. And they panicked, and they moved his body out of the way. I don't think he ever went back into that building. If it was a ground floor pub, you could think, okay, they hid his body in the cellar, where they keep all the beer and that, and then waited till everything had cooled down and that. But then he would have needed help in the bar. If he had have taken those drugs in the bar, people would have seen him collapse, because it was literally a one-room bar with a bathroom and toilet, and that's it. It was just one big room. People would have seen him. Someone would have seen him. So, yeah, I think he got gestured to to go out the fire exit bit to where the construction bit was to do whatever it was that they were going to do, because he was definitely away from the music. He was like on the outside of it, but it was like a dark, blue. It looks almost grey. It could be concrete. It could be like plastic sheeting over something. I'd love to know what the back of that bar looked like at the time, because he was up against something dark. And then he just collapsed. It was like accidental overdose. I guess it would be classified. His death would be an accidental overdose. So yeah, apparently he was out trying to buy drugs. And I think that detective was onto it when he said, I think he got gestured, but there's no proof he went back into the bar. Who's to say he didn't go out the side? And it just confirmed everything I was thinking in the back of my head. That guy would be the sort of guy that would make a brilliant co-host. Anyway, I'm going to go now. So yeah, interesting. I'll put links in the description box below. Ka kite anō.